I'm just going to tell you about an upgrade, not an upgrade, a tweak I've done to the Brompton. Explain why. I have said before about the various changes I've made to this specialised e-bike, which I got a few years ago. And I'm pleased to say that Specialized themselves have adopted most of them in their newer models. And so you will see you can now buy models which are fitted with mudguards. I'm not sure about the gear ratio, but racks and the various things that I did to this one. I did shorten the handlebars. I've not measured the handlebar width on the newer models to see if they've done anything about that. But yes, they've been embedded into the newer models, you'll find. Well, this is an unusual bar. It's not, I'm not sure how available it is at the moment, but I got it at the time. It gives me two handhold positions on the Brompton, and there was a gap in the middle. And so basically all I've done is to put a piece of 15mm tubing into the gap. I'm about to do that up. It's held in place with a little bit of hot melt glue, and I found some rubber cushioning material that was on some 15mm tubing for another purpose, and that has been inserted, and the bar is about 2 inches longer either side, so it's possible to squeeze it in one way, then pull it back the other, and then it's tight. It doesn't really need gluing in, it's actually quite tight, but the glue just makes it stronger. And so that provides me with a central position up here for mounting something such as a light. It means I've got position down here where I've been able to mount a camera. The camera is mounted onto a bracket that I've fabricated myself anyway out of a GoPro bracket and some tie wraps and some hot melt glue. And so far, early days, I feel this is a great improvement. Doesn't affect the integrity of the bike at all. It's very lightweight. That's actually quite thin 15mm tubing that I've used on there, and it gives me more real estate on the handlebars for other things. As you can see, I've got a speedo, the camera, and one light. I sometimes cycle with two lights. I did try having the camera mounted up at this position, which is a little higher, brings up a little higher, but the use of this foam rubber here gave it too much of a wobble. Attaching it straight onto the metal here means it's steadier. I didn't try the videos from it, but I could guess that the videos would be a bit shaky with the bike moving about a lot, and I'm hoping the videos would be steadier if a little lower down there. While I'm at it, not sure there's anything much else to say about the bike. It is fairly standard, comes with mudguards and luggage rack. Not easy to see in the standard ones you buy. It's an older model now. I've put a Brooks leather saddle onto it, which swaps across from this bike to another bike. The pump is carried separately. I've lost a pump which was on that part of the framing down there, so the pump is carried separately. I've got the tie wrap in there for release of the front bag. Not as pretty as something you can buy, which is a lot more expensive from somewhere else, but that does just save me reaching under to find the trigger release. You don't need anything at the back. No, other than that, bottle carrier. It's a fairly standard setup on here for the Brompton. So there we are. That's it. If you've got that type of bar, there won't be many people that have it, but this piece that joins between the two ends, the bar ends there and the bar ends were there, I find a great improvement. So GoPro mount, I'm not quite sure how I'll explain this without taking it off. The bottom part of this, below the, you know, the bolt that goes through the multi bit in the middle, is, I think it might be what comes when the GoPro is in the packaging. but it's just the basic thing that clips into the sticky pad bases. Yep. And it's been broken. And so what I've done is drilled a hole as close as I can get it to the bit where the bolt goes through on each side. There's a tie wrap goes through the hole, tied underneath, and then hot melt glue used underneath to fill in to try and make it into a curved base underneath. Not a lot. I have used more on previous ones, and that's it. Simple as that. It's very stable, very solid on there. And what I've done is I've fitted into the top of this, keeps going out of focus, what is a camera screw mount, because I've got a different camera put on there. But you could then put the GoPro on top with the, whatever you call that bit that goes on, and it would be a low profile solid mount, not one of these that sticks miles up into the air. Don't like those at all. Potential for movement and all sorts of things. So that's all it is. You just tie wrap the base, and I think it comes free with the GoPro when it's in the box, and it's quite strong enough for that. And drill some holes and put a tie wrap through, and hot melt glue to do the rest. Here's another basic GoPro clip mount, which, as you can see, is very low profile. Some of the things you can get to fix onto circular tubes are things like this. You have to get them specific for the tube diameter, and that's about the lowest profile thing you'll get in that form. When you get into this one, you're already a couple of inches above the bar that you're attaching it to. So basically, you can break off these legs, because you're not going to be clipping it into the slidey thing that you attach to a helmet anymore. And a hole through there, that point, a hole through there at that point. You can put the tie wrap round over the nut end. You tie wrap it onto whatever diameter thing you're attaching it to, and then you put hot melt glue underneath, which will mold itself to the shape of the tube that it's going onto. The tie wrap provides the mechanical hold. I'm finding that strong enough. You could, without using the holes, then if you want to put another tie wrap diagonally across in a slightly different place, and hot melt glue stops the tie wrap slipping off. You have two tie wraps on. I have on some of the other ones. Two seems to be better than one, of course. And you've got a very low profile, very robust, solid anti-vibration mount in that way. I've just found that very helpful, and it saves searching the internet for all these other types of mounts, which you can get, but you've got to be very specific for the diameter of the tube, and you're not going to get it as low profile as you can with this one.